jokes into a fight like this. There's no room for jokes, because these two guys are definitely going to be mixing it up, and this is a fight that a lot of people have just been really anticipating.
Time for laughing and making jokes is over. These two are going to get after it, and Donny Rains has really been working on his stand-up. We talk about that quite a bit. He's a jiu-jitsu, I believe he's close to being a black belt in the Walt Bayless system, but his stand-up is what he's really been focusing on here. Throwing out some nice, pretty straight, clean jabs there, tying up, but it looks like Willingham throwing some pretty good knees, get things started here.
He is, and one thing about Donny Rains is he does look a little bit more physical. He does look a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger maybe than Little Mac, and a lot of people were talking about that. Well, how's Little Mac going to fare against Donny Rains, who is a little bit bigger and a little bit tougher?
I disagree. I think Willingham looks every bit as physical as Donny Rains. Looks like he might have caught one in the ding-ding there, and we're going to give him a little time to get back and get ready to restart here.
Well, Donny just wants to get this thing going, and I know Little Mac does too, and that's not a good way to start this fight with a little shot like that, but I tell you what, it's just the calm before the storm.
Well, you don't want Dr. Mark Cacciamani coming at you with those rubber gloves and making sure everything's okay right there, do you? I think Willingham says, I'm fine, let me back at it. He didn't want us to get the rubber glove treatment.
Touch of the gloves, and here they come.
Nice combination. I see that combination. It throws a 1-2 and then it follows with the left leg roundhouse kick and did a pretty nice job there. But then they get inside here. It looks like Willingham landed a pretty good shot that sent Donny Rains to the canvas.
Now he's looking for a little choke. He's climbing up the body, maybe looking for a triangle. But, Donny is very good out of the guard. He can fight out, but he's got it.
Donny Rains got caught in a triangle choke here, and he's in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to tuck that head in there, and Jeffrey Willingham saying, get back here, landing a lot of big shots. Really precarious position here, and who would have thought Donny Rains getting caught in a triangle choke?
Absolutely. It just goes to show you that Little Mac does have the skill, does have what it takes to be a very top competitor in this position. But Donny Rains never going to give up, a guy that will continue to fight through and through.
Johnny Ritchie, that thing is on tight. You can see his limbs getting red there. The circulation's getting cut off here. Rains doing a good job of just finding that little space in there for to breathe.
And he gets
his head out. He endured, but it looked like a lot of blood on the canvas there. He might have gotten cut on the top of his head, reminiscent of the Densley fight.
And we know Donny Rains is a bleeder. People see that blood and go, God, he must be getting work. But I tell you what, that kid bleeds almost every time he fights, win or lose, and I just don't think it's really going to affect him that much.
He came out of that triangle choke, and really you don't see from a lot of fighters where he went right into a transition, attempted leg lock, missed it, but boy, there was a lot of blood, and they're going to stop and take a look at it, and Mark Cacciamani's he's earning his paycheck tonight.
Feeling around to see if it's broken. He says, nope, it's just a little blood. Let's get this thing underway.
Well, and it was a nice stoppage. Ethan Andrews, make sure everything's all right. But, man, there's a lot of blood out there. And those head wounds, as we've mentioned in the past, they bleed a lot.
And it's not going to affect Donny. Donny's going to come out and do just what he did before. Throw the 1-2 combo, throw the kick, then get in for the clinch and see if he can get Little Mac down to the ground.
And Little Mac doing a good job once again, on the inside once again, threw a couple knees there. And really, he's caught Donny Rains with 3 or 4 pretty good shots from the outside, and then that flurry that he had when they were on the ground.
Now Donny pulls him down into his guard. Maybe now he's looking for a triangle choke. Who knows? You never know what these guys, armbar choke, shoulder lock, whatever. They'll do it all.
Well, these guys definitely have the submission experience on the ground. Donny Rains kind of locking his feet there, and looks like he wants to return the favor with the triangle choke here with 30 seconds left. Is he going to get it?
He's climbing up the body, dropping some shots, and he's putting the arm into position just to do it. But Little Mac recognizes and says, not this time, pal.
You ain't going to do that one on me, man. Did a good job of defending it. And Donny Rains, again, has an extensive jiu-jitsu background, and he was looking for a move, and Willingham saw it coming and was able to thwart it.
Well, I'm not really sure who to call this fight for the first round. It could be either way at this point.
Willingham wins this round easily. He had the big takedown, the near submission, the big shots. You look at Rains going back to his corner, almost looking like a defeated man with all the blood. He actually went to the wrong corner that time. Easily you give that round, possibly a 10-8 round to Jeffrey Willingham.
Well, Donny Rains is a tough kid. We talked about that. He did get a little discombobulated, as Mike Stidham likes to say, but Little Mac does look calm, look composed.
Willingham doesn't look like he's tired at all. He's Senior Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Mountain High Motorsports. And if you were to just look at the picture of the two fighters there, it looked as though Willingham was in great shape, and Donny Rains is really struggling on his way back to the ring. We'll see how these guys hold out coming back into the next round.
Well, maybe the fact that Donny Rains said he only did get a couple weeks of real hard training, and Little Mac said, God, I've been waiting for this fight for a long time, so I have not missed a day at the gym, and that might just come into play later on in this fight, Mike.
He's a pretty focused kid, too. He set his sights on this fight, and he said, I'm going to go out and do what I need to prepare for this thing. He's been doing the stand-up training. He's been doing the submission training. He's been putting his time in the gym. And as I mentioned, when he showed up to the arena tonight, he said, I am ready for this thing. He's ready to rock and roll. And look at that first round. Boy, you can't get a better round of action in fighting anywhere.
The whole combat Crush Combat Cam is full of just the fight itself. We could have done another 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was pretty much a highlight reel, that whole first round, boy, and that was exciting. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in round 2.
Well, I'm saying I've seen Donny Rains in this position before, and he comes out just as strong. And Little Mac, to me, Mike, I don't know. Little Mac, he's been mopping through the competition. I don't know if he's fought a caliber of fighter like Donny Rains.
Well, one thing here is Donny Rains has the ring experience. He's not going to fold up and go home right here. He had a rough first round, but I can tell you right now, Donny Rains is going to come out and give you a battle regardless of what happened in that first round.
Donny Rains gets in close. I always look for that little swoop that we talked about, where he kind of gets underneath behind the leg and picks his opponent up and lands kind of in a side mount position. But he's not getting it on Little Mac. He's not giving it to him.
He's gotten caught with several knees as he's tried that move. It doesn't seem to work for him, and it seems like Willingham has the answer for that. Maybe he scouted this kid out. He knew that was something he'd be looking for and has been able to answer with knees. Finally does get the takedown, however, and he's looking for a key lock here from a half mount position or half guard position.
But don't you want to be in full side mount position when you do that? Not
Ideally, and you can get it here, but another thing you can use it for is a distraction to get full mount position. You got a guy thinking about his arm, and you can throw that leg over for the full mount. Looks like Donny Rains is going to try to do it without. You can get it on some guys. Willingham's doing a pretty good job of fighting it off.
He's trying to throw the key lock, but what is that move right there when he just kind of bends the arm over the crook of his elbow? I've seen guys tap from that position before.
Yeah, and Willingham's done a pretty good job of just enduring. That's a pretty painful move, and there's no joke about it, but I'd really like to see Donny step over. You see when Willingham really starts concentrating on the pain of that move, he loosens up on that leg, and Donny Rains should have been able to step over, get full mount position, but wasn't aware of it.
And we got Ethan Andrews right down there, close to the action, making sure that the fighters are going to be safe to live the fight another day, make sure no bones get broken or anything like that. So it's they're rolling around looking a little bit rough, but I guarantee that they're going to be okay.
Well, Willingham doing a good job of keeping that. He's grabbing onto his own shorts there. He's keeping his hand in close to the body, and that's where he wants it. Once you get it out away from the body, it's easy to isolate and do things to it, and Willingham doing a good job of keeping that in tight.
I hear some people, talking about that, saying he's holding his shorts, he's got his shorts, but that's absolutely illegal, right? You can hold your own clothes, no?
You can't hold on to clothing, so it should be something that he should be warned about, but, he's got it in there and making things difficult for Donny Rains.
He's holding on to it. Maybe Ethan Andrews steps aside and tell him not to, because if he lets go of those shorts, he might be in a pretty tough position with Donny Rains on top of him.
Donny should be looking for an arm lock there as well. Again, you got to be looking at other things. He gets focused in on one thing there, which is really something that surprises me with Donny. But Willingham doing a pretty good job of defending and keeping that one leg entrapped there, making things very difficult for Donny Rains.
Well, Donny Rains, I'm going to say Donny Rains has got my vote on this round. I think he's dominated. He hasn't got off that position. He's been on it, really trying to work that submission, got the takedown. I'm going to give this one to Donny Rains.
You're going to do that? I didn't know that we were voting on this.
Well, I'm just saying, my point of view, it looks like Donny's
without question.
active.
Donny has won this round with 10 seconds left. It's going to be a round apiece. A pretty good answer from that first round for Donny Rains. He came out, got beat, and as we mentioned in the early parts of this round, he wanted to come back and show, hey, it was a fluke. I'm still in this fight. Don't count me out just yet.
Don't let the bloody nose fool you. Donny Rains is still in the action. Salvador's helping him over to the corner. I don't know if he needs it, but he does look a little tired.
Well, we got more of this stuff, and if you've been seeing what's going on, it's going to get better. Stick around. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you just joined us, boy, you're missing out on a great one. We're right in the middle of a barn burner between Donny Sleavehead Rains and Jeffrey Lil Mac Willingham. You see here in your Crush Combat Cam. Brought to you by Beehive Bell Bonds, where it has been non-stop action, Johnny Rains.
Non-stop action from the first sign of the whistle. These guys are getting in there, mixing it up, hitting hard, trying submissions. One guy's bleeding, one guy's dizzy. I'll tell you what, these guys are really getting after it.
What a way to get things started here for the Wars of Winter. And you can see Donny Rains has left it all out there, as has Jeffrey Willingham. Both guys got great corners working for him. Steve Sharp working over there with Lil Mac, and Donny Rains with Fathead Salvador Sanchez. These guys are going to get after it. Round 3 here. As we said at Johnny Ritchie, it looks like a round apiece so far on both our scorecards.
Absolutely. We still got 3 minutes left, and I can't wait to see what these 3 minutes have in store. If they're going to be anything like the first two, this is going to be one hell of a fight, Mike.
Well, you know, they're a little bit more tentative coming out, a little more calculated. That was a big right hand. He rocked Jeffrey Willingham. You can see he got rocked. His knees buckled just a little bit right there to start this round off.
Man, I think Donny should have just let go and unleashed the beast and just started dropping bombs and maybe throwing some punches.
The beast is pretty damn tired, Johnny.
It's easier said than done, I know. But
he caught him, you know, and that's one thing. If you don't have the reserves in the tank to finish a guy when you know you got him hurt, boy, that's something you got to work on.
Well, Donny Rains will definitely, is one of the, like I said, one of the better fighters that have stepped inside these ropes. He's had his ups and his downs. He's fought some of the toughest guys there is, and I think he is fighting one hell of a competitor tonight in Little Mac.
Hey, Johnny, how cool is that to see Greg Skordas in the front row there, man? He was running for Attorney General just not too long ago. Now he's here at the Ultimate Combat Experience. Donny Rains gets a big takedown. Let's see what he does from there.
A little bit more action, maybe. He's trying to get the full mount or trying to get the knee up position.
Going knee up, and then he kicks it over full mount, and he's going to throw some punches here.
But Little Mac got out of it, kind of weaseled out of it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to call him a weasel.
Well,
but boy,
weasel,
he does a good job of when he gets into that posture. He does a great job of getting his legs up in there and pulling into his guard.
Well, Donny Rains still in side mount position, probably looking to maybe try to get a submission, but he wanted to hammer Little Mac there for a second. I think he's mad that his nose is bleeding so much.
Boy, look at all the blood on the mat here. This has been a blood fest and an absolute war. Donny Rains has full mount position here. He's got Lil Mac in trouble. He's going to keep him in the ring here, and he's landed a lot of shots.
He has landed a lot of shots. Not a lot of power, but Little Mac's not afraid to set up either and slug Donny in the face. So maybe Donny should be looking for really just...
Well, Donny's going to pin that leg down. They're looking for an arm lock here. Now, boy, Jeffrey Willingham is in trouble. Donny Rains is, well, you can see his legs are tired. That was not as tight an arm lock as I'd like to see, and you could tell his legs are pretty fatigued because he didn't pinch him up, and you know Donny's better than that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that kind of happened the last time when he fought Denzi a little while back. He was trying so hard to get that, and his legs got so tired, there's nothing he can do, but you're right, Mike. His tank is running on empty right now, and I think Little Mac might smell that.
Well, both these guys are kind of running on fumes right now, but, you know, it's the warrior spirit in both of them. They both keep going. Neither one of these guys have quit with 30 seconds left. I see Donny Rains with a bit of an edge here. He's had an attempted submission and a lot of shots from when he had full mount position. Lil Mac's going to have to do something to pull this round out.
I think so too, Mike, and he's just content right now to kind of set in there, stay close. He should set up, try to get out of that guard position, try to get in the mount, and maybe turn things around so he can secure the victory.
10 seconds left, and I'm not sure that he's aware that there's only that much time, or maybe he's just that tired. But you can leave an impression on the judges if you finish on top. We all know that, and stranger things have happened. What a great fight. What a great main event for our first show of round 14.
Absolutely one of the better fights, both technical and a slugfest that we've seen in a long time. These guys are true warriors, both tough, both giving each other congratulations. What a bunch of warriors.
They're both being helped over to their corners there because they both left it all in the ring. You know, they gave us everything they had. What a great match.
Little Mac right there telling everyone, I won the fight. Donny's bleeding, but I tell you what, I think this is going to be right down to the judge.
You see here in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you my favorite place to go on a Saturday night, American Bush, where Donny Rains did a good job in the early goings of this round, got the big takedown, was pretty dominant on top. He got full mount, landed some big shots, but, you know, Lil Mac landed up on top to end the round.
Ended the round, so we got 1 for 1. The third round is the one that we're really questioning right now. We give the first round to Little Mac. The second round to Donny Rains, and this third one is a toss-up, Mike.
Well, mind you at home, our scorecards are unofficial. This is just us. We're spectators just like you, and I'd hate to second-guess these judges. You know, obviously, they're ringside, and they're seeing what they're going to see. Let's listen in and see what they have to say.
28, a draw. And the third judge scores it 28. We have a majority.
Wow, we have a majority draw, Johnny Ritchie. That's a tough pill to swallow for me. That was such a hard-fought battle, such a war that you hate to see it go away without there being a decisive victory. That's a tough one.
Now a post-fight interview sponsored by Pets and Such. Pet food, pet supplies, and all kinds of pets just off Bangerter at 3500 South.
A lot of people don't understand what a majority draw is. I mean, 2 out of the 3 judges saw it as a draw. If you want to look at all the total of the scores, I mean, you won, but a majority draw, I think that fight was so good, man. I'm glad I wasn't a judge.
That's a great fight. He barely bumped me in the nose, and the damn thing won't stop bleeding.
The faucet was on, and we've seen that with you before, man. You're a bleeder. White guys bleed easy.
I guess, I don't know.
Donny Raines, though, man, you have delivered many good fights for this show, and that was no exception, Donny. I got to tell you, great fight, and I want to thank you for entertaining us in the crowd with what's such a great fight.
That was my pleasure. I wish I would have been in better shape. I've only been getting ready for it for 2 weeks. Plus, I cut 9 pounds just this morning. I don't think I'll be doing that again. That killed me. I was dead. But
Do it over time, brother. Do it over time.
Little Mac, too. Great fighter. Good job. I got nothing but good things to say.
Nothing but love both ways, I'm telling you right now. Nothing but respect both ways. Congratulations. I'm not saying nobody was not good enough, because you both were good enough tonight, bro.
That's good. Thanks for the bloody nose, Dick. Just want to thank my sponsors, Utah Financial. Give them a call at 269-2470.
Or call Johnny Ritchie at.
This post